Yesterday is gone, so you only have the day. You wanna throw in the towel, you wanna low on your face. Seem like it's too much, you wanna walk away. But you gotta keep going, you gotta fight another day. You gotta keep on going, can't stop here. You gotta keep on going, try your test. You gotta keep on going, you gotta keep going.
Welcome back to Keep Going, the podcast where we focus on present self and future growth. Today we got a very special guest. I came across her page. She was doing her fitness thing. She had a little motivation on there. I was like, I just got to check it out because I know she can be a blessing to many other people. Today we have Coach K. Coach K, how you doing?
I'm great.
That's good. That's good. So real quick question for the people who don't know who Coach K is. So who is Coach K?
I am a life coach. My dominant focus is productivity, performance, mindset. My company is called A New You. I also run the company with my business partner slash mother as well. So it's a mother-daughter life coaching company. Her name's Coach Reed. And yeah, our dominant focus again is mindset, execution, performance, and we just kind of help our clients become the best version of themselves. I know that sounds cliche, but taking their greatness and amplifying that greatness however we can, however we see fit.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I definitely want to get into all of that. My first question that I have for you is what inspired you to get into fitness at all? What inspired you, or is it something you always did?
Um, well, when it comes to, well, I started off as a fitness coach originally.
Okay.
And within fitness coaching, I did that for about 4 to 5 years. And that was just me starting with me trying to gain weight and then going from there. So I started off as a weight gainer or on my own weight gain journey. And then from there, it just naturally kind of happened. People were asking me, what are you doing? Da, da, da. So I'm helping them with their weight gain journey as well. And we were doing 2 week challenges. And we realized that the synergy within the challenges, it was so much more about the community feel, so much more about less about the results that they were getting, even though those were great, but it was more about like the fact that we were dropping daily motivation, the fact that the community was very supportive. So they connected to that on a deeper level. And then my transition into life coaching happened naturally from that because we started to realize like people were coming to us and they would start off on a fitness journey, but by the end, we're talking about their business, we're talking about their relationships, we're talking about their spirituality. So naturally it made sense to shift into life coaching and talking to someone and helping someone through a more holistic approach as opposed to only approaching it from a physical approach.
So that's kind of, so is that like something you had in mind, or what just kind of happened? You always wanted to build a community, or what just kind of happened that way?
It just kind of happened that way. I wouldn't say I always wanted to, but I did start to get the impulse and the desire to do so. And from there, we were trying to figure out how can we cultivate that. So that's where the 2 week challenges came in. And then in doing that, again, we just found that that was powerful. Like we didn't even realize how powerful a community truly was before we even did it. We just knew it was something. It would make the process a lot easier if they not only had us to rely on, but had other people's energy to rely on as well. And again, we didn't even realize how powerful it really was to have a community. So from there, realizing that people really build on each other's energy, and a lot of times the people around you when you have goals, they are not in alignment. The people you grew up with, right? The mindset is a little
You saying
different.
something now?
So the mindset is a little different. So having somewhere to come where people are more in alignment with growth, with expansion, with positivity, is a powerful thing to have.
Okay, yeah, I love what you said. I definitely want to catch back up on that in a little later,
Mhm.
because you definitely
Yeah.
said something there. But you said something interesting when you first started off. You said so you wasn't doing weight loss, you was doing weight gain.
Hmm.
Oh, so okay, so that's something a little different because I'm typically used to a lot of
Hmm.
weight loss. So you was teaching people how to put on weight that was struggling with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I definitely might have to send my sister your way. But I think that's kind of dope. I think that's kind of
Yeah.
dope. So
Thank
in
you.
this, so when you created this business, you said that you started working on different aspects as people, started bringing up different things, how they was encouraged and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
what does that look like within your business, like working on different aspects?
Well, we realized that whatever like it's the process, the specifics of the process is different, but the basis of the process is the same. So regardless of what you're trying to accomplish, that could be someone looking to get closer to, their husband or their mother or their kids. That could be someone looking to get into a relationship. That could be someone looking to start a business. That could be someone looking into trying to move up the corporate ladder. That could also be someone looking to lose weight or gain weight. The basis of the process is number one, starting with what's your mindset around that goal that you're trying to hit. Do you even think it's believable? What are the limiting beliefs that you have around it? And then from there, it's more so about being able to truly identify what that goal is specifically, and then being able to connect to it, and then being able to create a plan. And then from there, execution is just about, it's about will and drive and staying motivated. And that's the basis. So we stick to the basics, and that allows us to be able to work with anybody regardless of what they're looking to accomplish.
I love that. So it almost seems like sometimes life coaching is still kind of new to people, and
Right.
people are
Mhm.
always like skeptical, like they don't know
Yeah.
like how to go about this. So would you say that your community is what helps make people feel more comfortable to do it, or by the time they're already their life coach, they're already in the community? Like, how does that work? How do you get people to feel comfortable enough to come to you to even do it in the first place?
I think I do a great job of showcasing results. I think I do a great job of trying to connect it to my life and the life that I'm living. And I keep it about the end result. I don't, try to make it about trying to force people into understanding what a life coach is. Da da da. It's more so about, do you like the life that this client is living? Do you like the life that I'm living? If that's what you want to accomplish, you want to achieve, get on a consultation or work with me. And from there, I think so people are naturally driven just by seeing results, just by seeing people accomplish things that they want to accomplish. And from there, they still might not truly understand what I do, but they know I got that person a result. And that's all they care about. So then from there, it's easier when I get on the call to, and by the time I'm on a call with somebody or speaking to someone, it's less about, well, what do you do? And it's more about, well, how can you get me there? Because everybody only cares about how you can get them to what they want.
Right.
So,
Right.
and if I can properly communicate that and showcase that I can do that for them, whatever I call myself is the least important part of
I love it.
the entire process.
I love it. I love it. It's just about like what you, yeah, how can you help them? I love that.
Right.
I love it. On this podcast, I focus a lot on perspective, on the mind
Mm-hmm.
frame. How
Mm-hmm.
does somebody get to a place where they do something?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in the business that you're in, it takes confidence. It takes somebody who knows who they are,
True.
somebody who knows what they want. And have you always, like growing up, just been a confident person, or did you get to a point in your life where you hit rock bottom and you had to say enough is enough? I want more out of life. Like, how did you get to that place to even come to a place to have enough confidence to create a business? Because I know it's a lot of people watching. I get a lot of messages of people who struggle, like they want more out of life, but they're so scared of failing. They're so scared of what other people think of them. So how did you get that to say, I'm just going to start my business and do my thing?
Um, that's a good question. No, I wouldn't say I grew up confident, or even knowing what I wanted to do. It started, at one point I wanted to be an actress. At another point, I wanted to be a psychologist. At another point, I wanted to be a dance choreographer. There's been a lot of different things that I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
And luckily, I had a mother that was very supportive in my journey. So whatever I wanted to do, she's like, "All right, what we got to do to make it happen? Like, I'll put you in these classes, da da da." Growing up, so and that allowed me the freedom to be comfortable enough to try something and fail at it, to try something and realize that's really not what I want to do, and being okay with being okay with quitting, because that's the big thing. People feel like, okay, I start the journey, I put all this effort into it, and they're kind of scared to. They feel like they have to hold on to that thing, even though there's no passion there, there's no true connection there. It's really the fear of quitting. So I wasn't afraid to quit and try something new. I know that sounds counterproductive, but again, that allowed me to go through my journey a lot faster because I wasn't scared to just let things go and move on to the next thing. So again, like it really happened naturally though. Like it wasn't supposed to start off, or it wasn't supposed to be a business. It just was me sharing my journey, what I was doing. Social media has helped a lot, I think, when it comes to people starting businesses, because so many businesses start from people just naturally sharing their passion. And then
Right.
from there, it falls into a business because other people either want your product or whatever. Like if somebody has a passion for sewing, crocheting, they start to crochet their own dresses, their own outfits, and
Hmm.
that naturally turns into a business. So, same concept with anything else. Naturally having that passion to share, I think social media has made that, has given people a whole other type of opportunity to start businesses because you can start it that way and more organically. And that's exactly how mine started. So it wasn't even about being a business owner. It was about me being on my own journey, other people asking, and then they naturally kind of flowed into a business as opposed to, all right, I'm going to start this business. I'm going to do this. Like it wasn't that type of journey at all.
It's something you just said, and I love it because I made a video similar to what you just said, and you said not afraid to quit. And
Mhm.
I know some people take that the wrong way, like, oh, you shouldn't be a quitter. But I think
Yeah.
I heard somebody say the best one time is like, a lot of us, we don't grow up knowing actually what we like. A lot of us are pushed certain
Right.
ways, so we don't know what our passions are. So I made a video
Hmm.
talking about how you can't be scared to continue to try new things, because I tell people all the time,
Hmm.
I've been trying to be a YouTuber since like 2008, and every year I failed, and
Hmm.
now I got this podcast and I'm making these videos, and I thought I was a failure, but now I know how to edit my own videos. I know how to use a
Hmm.
camera. I gained all
Yeah.
these skill sets from, you know, all those times I quit, try something new,
Yeah.
tried this, tried that. So I love that you said that. Like it brought you around to a place where you got to see what you really wanted to do. And I
Yes,
tell people
exactly.
you can't think about what other people think of you. You have to continue to try, because there's a lot of people that they're scared. They're living the life of what their parents wanted them to live, or what
Hmm.
these people, and it's a
Yeah.
scary place. So I love that you said that. Touching on something you said earlier though, because I think it's really important. Earlier you was talking about basically growing up in, childhood friends and such as that nature, that
Hmm.
y'all may not want to say things out of life, and sometimes
Yeah.
you got to branch off and be around people. And I have these type of conversations with my friends now. A lot of people from high school and stuff I might not hang out with no more, but I start to learn that me and my friends talk about, the more that you get obsessed with something, get obsessed with your success and where you at, it's very few people where you came from that you can relate to, and you find yourself building new circles to be around people that maybe you can relate to more. But
Yeah.
what can you say about that to that person that might, that might struggle with that? Because sometimes I find that sometimes that's our comfort zone, and sometimes we're comfortable in our comfort zone. And what
Yeah.
would you say to that person who's battling with that right now?
Um, I would say the best thing to do is to isolate yourself completely, not really focus on finding a new crowd to be around, but just be with you and allow your community, or allow the people, or allow the influence that's coming in, to more so be about the books that you're reading, or listen to podcasts, get into speakers. And then from there you get into rooms, like you find a favorite speaker, they normally have a conference, you can go to those conferences. Like you just start to kind of naturally get into it instead of cutting people off just because they don't fall in line, and focus more on having genuine people around you than having people around you that's on the same path. Because I've been in circles where, yeah, they're like-minded, but they're not genuine. They're not,
Mm,
it's not really a genuine friendship, and that could also be toxic. So,
right.
and a lot of my friends that aren't on the same path that I'm on, or high school friends or whatever the case is, they're genuine, so I keep them around.
Hmm.
Like I didn't cut anybody off. I didn't,
I
like,
love it.
it wasn't that type of attitude, because they still genuinely want to see me win. And that's what you should focus on, having
Yeah.
genuine people around you that truly support you, regardless of if they're on the same path as you or not. Because a lot of times, even though there are rooms that exist with people that are like-minded and communities that exist, going for greatness is a bit of a lonely path. So
Mhm.
you do still, at some point, you're going to end up isolating yourself at some point anyway. So I think, again, the most important thing is having genuine people around you, not really caring and not having that mindset of, if you ain't, helping me get richer, helping me get better, you can't be around me. Like, no, just if you're genuine, you want to see me win, I still want you around me, just because you don't have the same goals I have.
Yeah.
Now, will I allow you to influence me? No, that's a different story. Like, am I going to allow you to drag me down or hold me back? That's not the case. But I don't have to cut you off in order for you to not drag me down. Like, it doesn't have to be that type of situation. As long as I have my own motivation, my own drive, my own will, and I'm not allowing you to have me at the club at 4 a.m. when I know I got to get up early and do what I got to do. Like, it's just, having your own, what's the word I'm looking for? Your own discipline level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't have that and you're easily influenced, I can see why a lot of people would cut off their friends, just kind of, stay away from them. But if you have that drive, you really don't need to necessarily, because again, the focus is genuine support and people around you that want to see you win, regardless of if they're on the same path or not.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I think that was very helpful. Because especially when you say if you're disciplined or not, because I think sometimes we are influenced by those friends, but I think you have to be in a place of your life where you know if you're disciplined or not.
Yeah.
And so, what would you say? Because I love how you said genuine, because a lot of times, people who knew us growing up and,
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
success came, genuine,
Yeah.
everybody, I always looked at it like everybody that comes after that, like they know the success the person, the big
Yeah.
story So
Yeah.
I love how you said that. Definitely. What got you into specifically like content creation? Like was it just for building your business? Was you trying different things before? Like I said, I tried YouTube and I was just trying it time after time. I tried different things. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been
Yeah.
everywhere with it. I've been everywhere with
Yeah.
it. And so what got you into content creation?
Actually, I'm just now considering myself getting into content creation, because now I am thinking about YouTube. I'm thinking about TikTok, and I'm being a little more strategic with what type of content that I put out. But before, when did I start my Instagram? I think I started it in 2018 or 2019. And before that, I really didn't do social media. Like, I'm probably a Snapchat at the most, but Twitter, I've never been on any of that. So I only started the Instagram because I'm like, well, people are asking me naturally. People are asking me that are around me, that see me on Snapchat sharing my journey. So I naturally then just took that to Instagram, because I'm like, well, if these people are asking, let me see what it's about on another platform, because I don't think you're discoverable on Snapchat. I think it's just the people you know. So I figured Instagram would give me a more broader audience. But at the time, still, it was no effort into videos. It was no effort into pictures. I'm just posting a picture that look however it look, and I'm just posting it because I'm like, I'm gaining weight. I'm sharing with y'all here. Here's my story. And Instagram, I don't think was about aesthetics at the time. So it was just you naturally sharing, judgment free, not caring about likes, not caring about none of that. Just sharing. And then it wasn't until 2020 that it started to be more about content creation and stuff like that. But I still really never thought about it much. If you see my page, you see that I really don't talk. There's no videos of me speaking.
Right.
So I'm just getting into the space, but that's because I was in a field where it was strictly visual. Like, my body could speak for me. So getting into, life coaching, I started to realize there's a cap on how far I can go without people hearing my voice. Like, I've gone as far as I could go at this point. I've reached my cap. So now, in order to get to the next level, in order to get speaking engagements, in order to get, to be a guest on a podcast, in order to get that far, I now need to start to create content. So I actually have just came to that realization not too long ago, and now I'm considering it. So now I'm starting a YouTube channel, and then of course, taking the long form video, turning them into shorts, all that stuff that you have to do. But I was never interested in it because I'm like, that's a whole other job. Like, I'm a coach. Like, that's one job in itself. Now I gotta make sure that the reel look right, and I gotta make sure that I'm having the engaging captions and hooks. I'm just like, that's too much. So I've never been interested in it because, again, it's a whole other job. But I think that's the game we just have to play right now, because that's just the world that we're in. you
Right,
know.
right. I'm the opposite of you. So the reels, all that. I'm doing that across all platforms,
Okay.
and I'm trying
Yeah.
to slide myself into the coaching reel. So it's like I'm the opposite of
Mm.
you.
Hmm.
But definitely, I love that. But the thing I love about it is, you talk about the visuals and building your body. I remember I listened to a podcast. It was a business podcast, and I thought it was so interesting what they said, because they said that they believe it's easier to build a business than it is to build your body, because in a business, if you're smart enough, you can delegate responsibilities to get other people to handle it. But when it
Hmm.
comes to
Hmm.
your body, nobody can't do that for you. That
True.
you have to do that part yourself. Nobody cannot come and save you. And
Yeah.
can you talk about, because it's a lot of us out here in this world. Like me myself, I was a top athlete back in high school, and I allowed myself to put on a little weight. And I feel like every year I'm
Hmm.
on a new fitness
Yeah.
goal. I got to get here, I got to
Yeah.
get there. But can you speak to that, like the discipline that it takes to get your body right, and continue to do those things? 'Cause that's another thing.
Hmm.
It's like I've,
Hmm.
I've I've got all the way down to my goal weight and was like, yep,
Yeah.
I'm there, I did it,
Yeah.
and then got right back up because I wasn't consistent, and then stay there and
Yeah.
continue doing the things to
Yeah.
keep it. So can you speak to that discipline that's needed?
Um, as you were talking, I was just thinking like I agree on one hand, but on the other hand, also it's like to me, it takes the same discipline. It takes the equal
Okay.
amount of discipline. So I'm more focused on, I think when we start to hyper focus on things like, okay, I just want to focus on building my business, or okay, I just want to focus on building my body, I think it becomes, the tasks that it takes to get there become a little too mundane, too
Mhm.
repeated, too repetitive. So I think that when you connect to what the true goal here is, then I think that changes the game a little bit. Because for me, I just want my life to be amazing on all fronts, which means my body has to be right. I have to be healthy. My business has to be booming. Everything has to be right. So what does that mean? That just means that I need to make sure that I'm able to divide my day into everything that it takes to do so. So that means I start my day with the workout. It's not more so about me trying to gain weight or trying to get to a goal weight, not at this point. It's more so about me just taking care of my body and me
Mhm.
just, okay, I wake up, like, how do I spend my day? And having these habits of a person that's healthy, having these habits of a person that loves their body, having the habits of a person that has a successful business. What does that look like? That means I wake up, I meditate, I do what I have to do for my mental, and then I go into working out. I do what I have to do for my body. I take the right supplements. I'm eating foods that nourish my body. And then I'm working on my business throughout the day. It's not, the tasks start to become just a part of who I am and what I do and how I live my life and how I spend my day, as opposed to, oh, I got to work out. Like, I got to do this in order to maintain, or I got to lose 20 pounds, or I got to get rid of this body fat. Like, it doesn't become about that anymore. It's just about gaining the habits of whoever that person is that you're trying to become. So who do you want to be? For a lot of people, maybe health isn't a priority. So if
Mhm.
health is a priority, but you're constantly obsessing with the fact that you need to lose 20 pounds, health just needs to become a priority. You don't need to focus on losing 20 pounds. You need to prioritize and become and identify as the person who is a healthy person. That means starting to work out, starting to eat healthier foods. Like, it just means that that's just what you do and that's just what your life looks like. So I try to stay away from, first of all, thinking about it way too much,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then just stepping back and saying, who is that person? What does that person do every day? And the results come naturally, like the results from business, the results from my body, like everything just comes naturally. It's not until I start to dread a task that that goal becomes
Mm.
very just, I'm just miserable the whole time.
Right.
I just said the other day that I had fell off with my workout schedule. So I didn't fall off with working out, but I started to work out in the evening, and I know I hate that. So I was saying the other day, I was like, I'm not happy. Like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not having fun. This is not fun for me. What makes me enjoy my fitness journey is waking up in the morning and working out. That makes me feel amazing. That makes me feel, so I'm like, why am I dreading this? Like, why does this feel like such a task? Like, why am I all throughout my day? It feels like it's a dark cloud over me. Oh, I still got to work out. Dang, I still got to work out. Like, that's something I'm thinking about and obsessing about. And it's like, that's miserable for me. I don't want to do that. So I was like, wow, I'm really not enjoying this. And I always ask myself that question when it comes to any goal that I'm on my way to reaching. I'm always asking throughout the journey, like, am I enjoying this? Like, am I having fun here? And I wasn't having fun with that. So also, the person that's struggling with discipline, are you having fun? Like, are you enjoying it? If not, start to do things that will help you enjoy it. Find a fun class, find a cycle class, find a Zumba class, find a step aerobics class, find a class that you enjoy that has a community that makes you want to actually go to the class. That's fun. Instead of trying to gain discipline, just start to think of ways you can make it fun. Is the easier path, in my opinion, than trying to muster up this discipline that you might never find because you might not be connected enough to the goal, honestly.
Right.
And that's okay, because everybody can't truly connect. Sometimes they just really don't know why it is that why do I want to lose 20 pounds? Why, is it because the society told me I needed to? Like, nobody, sometimes you really don't know. So just try to make it fun. Just make it as enjoyable as possible and call it a day. If that means going for a walk instead of going to the gym, just get out and get active. That means doing some yoga. Just do that instead of thinking that you have to go around on a treadmill for an hour straight. Like, just make it fun.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good advice. Because matter of fact, you spoke on things like I would have to say I dealt with personally, that I realized that, when I work out in the morning, it's easy for me. It's something I can do. I'm motivated. But when it comes to that night workout, it's like, here we go.
Yeah, I'm tired from the
my
day.
goodness. Yeah. It's like, I gotta do this.
Not fun.
I remember a funny story. My wife got mad at me one time, but I was telling her, like, it's about my flow for me. And what was happening was I would wake up every morning early before everybody got up, and I go run a mile because it was getting me going. I was trying to get back in shape and all these things. And then she one day she was like, how come you can't just wait for us to get up and then we can go to the park and we can run together? And deep down inside, I'm like, because by that time I'm gonna be knocked off. I'm not gonna want to do it. I'm not gonna want to run no mile because y'all gonna want to get up too late. And by that time, I don't want to work out by that time. So I want to work out, early. I want to get it going. But no, I definitely think a routine
get up with me.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But I love how you said that, because I do think like a routine, and you find that routine that fits for you, then it works perfect. Like, and I think that's with any aspect of life. I think some people do well with waking up early. Some people do well with staying up late. Like, it works different for different people. So I definitely love that.
Yeah. And then also, like, the whole, I get a lot of people that's like, I want to start working out. I need to start working out. I want to start working out. I'm like, you want to start working out, but you don't meditate, you don't practice self-care, you don't do skincare, dental or oral care, you don't do no type of care for yourself, and you expect to just start to work out. Like, instead of just doing that, that's just going to be another task that you need to do. Just start to take care of your body. Just say, I need to start taking care of my body. What does that look like for me? And that looks like, for some people, again, taking a Pilates class in the morning, taking doing yoga in the morning, doing 20 minutes of yoga, but also having an entire routine. Normally, if somebody works out and you see somebody that's consistent with working out, they probably have other forms of self-care as well. They probably take their self-care seriously, because they take taking care of their body, taking care of themselves very seriously. So you're not going to see somebody that's out here working out hard, but doesn't also meditate or doesn't pray or doesn't practice any other form of self-care. So a lot of people will say, I just want to start working out, but they are not used to practicing taking care of themselves. And that's where it should probably start. It should probably start with a 10-minute yoga session, and then put it on a podcast, listening to some personal development. And from there, you let it graduate. But to jump right into working out every day for an hour, doing these strenuous workouts, and you're not used to building the habit of even taking care of yourself at all, it's just unrealistic. So practice the habit of taking care of yourself and prioritizing self-care. And then you start to think of creative ways to do so.
That's good. That's good. I definitely say I think that was me for years. And like I said, I was an athlete in high school. So, and then I like basically basketball to work out. So I kind of was like, screw you, like screw basketball. I stopped working out, stopped doing everything. So for many years, I wasn't doing nothing. So like years later, when I start back up, I'm the guy that's like, I want to pick back up where I left off. Like, and it's like, I can't do this. This is not easy. I cannot do this. But I definitely I love how you said that. I think that's very, very important to take care of your whole self, your whole body, and not just trying to just jump to working out because you
Yeah.
skipping levels. I
Yeah,
love how
you
you said
skipping
that.
steps.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
I love it. So this segment of the podcast, it's called Keep Going, and I like to allow our basically our guests to show the people through their everyday life how they break down something in order
Okay.
to better themselves or reach a goal. So in going is an acronym, and the first word of that acronym is goal. And my question to you is, what is a goal that you have for yourself, whether it's right now, whether it's future, but for a goal that you may have that the people can see, like, man, I remember she said she was gonna do that, man. Like, she really been about her business.
Yeah. Trying to pick one that I want to say. I think that the my biggest goal is to become and be mentioned with the best coaches in the world.
I love it.
I want New You to be known as one of the best coaching companies at some point. You know, we're going to have coaches under us in this business. And we'll be a entire company that represents coaches, you know, whether that's a fitness coach, a spiritual coach, you know, other mindset coaches, all of that. So that's the end goal for, you know, not the end goal, but the ultimate goal right now, as far as I can see, for our company. And then just for me, just making a huge impact. And again, just being named with the best coaches that are in the world right now, if not better than them. But I know everybody has their own lane. So I just want to be best at what I do. So
I love it.
mindset, execution, performance, that's my tunnel vision focus right now.
I love it. So for the O is organization, like organized. So basically, I tell people all the time, if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. So what is a way you use to basically organize the goals to make sure that you're on top of them to getting it done?
Well, I created a planner. So I use my planner that I created. But also just making sure that I know, like, yes, you have a big goal, but I always break my goals down. So I keep my goals in 90-day increments. And how can you get closer to that ultimate goal in the next 90 days? Okay, cool. Now that that's clear, what can I focus on within the next 30? That's my next focus. So
I
within the
love
next
it.
30 days, what can I focus on? And that's what I hyper focus on at the time. And then from there, I just take it week by week. So now it's like, you know what your ultimate goal is, you know what you need to accomplish within the next 90, you know what the 30-day plan is. So now just within this next week, what can you do? What are the habits that you can embody on a daily basis for the next 7 days that are going to be in alignment with this? And then every day I wake up, I just look over that list again and hit those to-dos and check those to-dos off. And that's been working for me. It's
I
been
love
working
that.
for the last 5 years or so. Use that method with my clients as well. And it works. It keeps me
I love that.
focused. It keeps
I
me
love
in alignment with that ultimate goal.
I love that. You said every day you wake up, you go and look at your list, and
Mm-hmm.
that's wonderful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And how the I is for implement. How do you go about making sure you're implementing this plan that you wrote down for yourself?
Um, that's just doing it. That's just
Mhm.
if I'm looking at all these goals, I'm looking at the 90-day, the 30-day, the weekly. I'd be crazy to wake up and I did all that work to plan
Did
and
all
not
this.
execute.
I
Like
love it.
I'd be crazy to do that. So that's why looking at it for me every day is very key. Planning my
Hmm.
week out is very key for me. I need to know what my week looks like Monday through, Sunday. And from there again, like yes, I know what it looks like, but now I'm going to reiterate again every single day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to wake up, look at what I need to do for the day. And now that's how I'm starting my day. So I really don't struggle with like not checking to-dos off, not being in action because I'm placing myself in a situation where my plan is number one, is everywhere. It's on my home screen, it's in my notes, it's up here on the wall, in the calendar, like it's everywhere. So like if I weren't executing and implementing, I'd really be a waste of breath. Just
I
it'd be
love it.
ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous for me not to. So it
I
only
love
makes sense. It only makes sense.
you basically just answer in is for narrow vision. How do you stay focused and have narrow vision? But you just said it, and I think that's pretty cool because you make sure that, like you said, you got it everywhere. So you remind yourself, because I was going to ask you, like, how do you, because I've tried sometimes to have like calendars and this and that. And I want to check it. I want to check it. And I'll wake up sometimes and I won't even think about it. I'll go to my phone. That's why I made sure I had to get to a place where in the morning, like I started with prayer, devotion. I got to get to a simple place. I don't like to check my phone in the morning. I like to do that later. Yeah, because it was such a distraction. But I love how you said that. And the G basically is for the grind. I tell people all the time that you, after you got all these things that you said you was going to do, you created your plan and everything else. Now you got to grind it out. And thank you for that, for breaking that down to us so we can see a real businesswoman and how you broke all this down and you built the business. And I definitely hope the best success for you on your journey and your business.
Thank you.
For everybody,
there's other factors. There's other factors too. I just wanted to quickly say that, like, personal development is a big one. It's not just all me and my thoughts. As soon as I wake up, putting something on, like some book, some video. I love Reverend Ike, Abraham Hicks, Joe Dispenza. I like to keep people in my, I like to keep audibles that I know is gonna, like, there's moments where I know I need to, like, be on it, be in action mode. I have speakers for that. I got the Eric Thomas. I got the Tim Grover's, and then there's times where I need to just be relaxing and allowing things to come to me. And that's where, again, like the Reverend Ike, the Abraham Hicks. So it's a perfect balance of, my spirituality mindset, but also listening to things that are going to keep me motivated and in action. So understanding who works for you when it comes to speakers and audibles and getting into personal development, understanding who resonates with you. Like, does their message really resonate, and does it get you going? If so, have them playing all the time. All throughout the day, I have something playing. Just keeping it going in my mind so that I'm focused. In a morning routine. Like, I know it's very cliche right now because a lot of content creators are creating these morning routine videos and people think it's just a trend. But like, it's really not. It's really key. Like, you really need to wake up and have something standard that you do every single day. Like, it's a list of 5, and every single day I do this list of 5, no matter what. So the morning routine, personal development, those are 2 huge factors as well, just in the act of implementing, like you said, and making sure that you're staying in action.
Okay, I love it. I recognize Eric Thomas. I think you said Tim Grover. The first 3. What are those like preachers or something? I know you said Reverend Ike.
Reverend Ike is an old school reverend in the 80s sometime. He's a Black preacher, pastor, reverend, but his focus was different than the average reverend at the time, pastor, preacher. He was talking more about law of attraction, law of assumption, visualization, mindset. So I just discovered him literally. Abraham Hicks, another one. She's very much law of attraction, manifestation. Joe Dispenza is more so, he's in that realm, but more so on the scientific side of things. So, very into kind of explaining how it all scientifically makes sense when we talk about law of attraction, when we talk about mindset, when we talk about how thoughts turn into things. He talks about the science side of it and how, it actually breaks down. So those are the 3 that I listen to the most. And then, like I said, when I'm like in that mode where I need to really feel myself and really feel like, like in action all throughout the day, that's where like an Eric Thomas or like a Tim Grover would come in. My favorite book when it comes to that is Relentless. Love the book. I talk about it all the time. It's by Tim Grover. And wonderful book. Like, I read that book about 4 times a year.
I gotta check it out.
Really, it really keeps me in action. Like, it keeps me going. So it's a great book to read.
I gotta check it out. But definitely. So if y'all didn't get nothing else from this, like the morning routine, very, very important. And it's so, I know it's so important for me that if it's knocked off, it'll knock off my day. I have to get in my morning routine. A great morning routine, like, really gets me going. So I definitely thank you for sharing that. To anybody watching that or might want to become a client of your business, how can they reach out to you? How can they, if they want to get your information?
My Instagram is Life Coach K. My email is, I have a lot. My email is coaches, COACHES @ANUUcoaching.com. So ANUU anuucoaching.com, or my website, anuucoaching.com. So ANUU coaching.com. Those are my three main ways to get in touch with me.
Cool. I definitely put it up on the screen for you so they can see it too. But definitely appreciate you for coming on. I definitely see you doing your thing, and it's definitely encouraging. Like I said, I hope the best for you and your business as you continue on this journey, because I know it's going to be. Thank you. I appreciate you. And to everybody else, I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we out.
Yesterday is gone, so you only